Yo, DOT fam, this is Jaeger bringing you an Alliance event rundown, this time for the Halloween event Underworld, featuring the all-new ancient Greek god Hades. Pretty unique design. You could see him right there to the left, following up the event with the Norse god Hel. Again, these two duking it out for the Underworld. Hades, I think, kind of has my vote overall for what he has to offer, although Hel is pretty cool. As far as artwork goes, I'm going to go ahead and give the ticket here to Hades. Working with Hades and what he has, again, Greek god of the Underworld, he is bringing with him to the battlefield the ability to summon 5 Omega Grenadiers. We'll talk about them a little bit more. You're also going to get Titan Health with some Grenadier crit and damage boost skills, and you're going to get 2 guaranteed Panther X skills for damage and armor piercing. The only thing that I would honestly like to change there is I wish those Panther skills could have been health and armor, making them a little bit more of a suitable troop for getting out there and actually tying up the enemy as your Grenadiers can kind of sink some of that damage. The other question is how everyone will determine to use these Grenadiers best. They come with a few tweaks to them, kind of like any of the other Omega troops. When looking at these Omega Grenadiers, they have a 50% increase in speed and troop count. What is that speed really going to offer you? It means that they're going to get to enemy range quite a bit quicker and be able to fire those shots off sooner. When you're looking at the range, they actually have a 20% increase in range, which of course helps out with the speed, that the enemies will be within firing distance sooner than they will be in the enemy's firing distance. The only thing that, of course, is a drawback to the Grenadiers, like many of these other Omega troops, is they do have off the get-go 60% lower health than standard Grenadiers, which Grenadiers don't take hits all that well, so these Omega ones definitely can be kind of burned up a little bit faster than anything else. The big question is, are you going to deploy them to actually use them as a ranged troop, or deploy them, since there is a higher troop count, to actually tie up more of that enemy? Again, that's the big question, is how that Omega Grenadier spell is going to be used, varying up the tactic in which you use to attack with Hades. When looking at what are the other new unique things to the Underworld event, is we see the return of Astaroth. Many were wondering whether or not he would actually make a return this Halloween, and he does, with an all-new reforged structure to him. You're going to be getting some guaranteed skills on him. Titan Fire Resist, Tier 1. You're going to get 2 times dual elemental resists, things like physical poison plus another element within there. And you're going to get Tier 3 Titan Armor and Titan Health. Now, in my original one that I had, I got Astaroth last year, I actually got triple health skills on him, which make him a very healthy and meaty boy. But taking a look at it, having the ability to actually guarantee a mixture of different elements, what's nice is you can kind of look at that and then try to balance out what's going to be your fill in the gaps when it comes to those elements and the build that you get. Other things that we see new for the Underworld event is some all-new relics. We have the Cloak of Hades, bringing us Omega Grenadier damage, Grenadier AP, and Titan and Troop fire damage. We have Hades Chariot, which is going to bring us Omega Grenadier crit, also General Grenadier damage, and Titan health. The one thing to know about the Cloak of Hades and the Chariot is that AP and damage is good for regular Grenadiers and any Omega ones. And we also have the all-new Victor's Drape Relic, which brings in Titan Armor, Panther damage, and Grenadier critical. Again, remember, any basic skill for a troop will not only buff that troop, but also the Omega troop. So consider that for any of the other Titans that are these summoning ones, all the Greek gods in the game. Now, taking a look at your boost, really nice to know the devs totally stuck to their word from a week ago, is we got Hel giving a 1.4 boost, Calvarex giving a 1.3, and then you've got Helzir, Astaroth, Ilzar, Flamehide offering a 1.2 boost. So pretty good mixture in there that you're at least getting something more than a 1.1, which is honestly pretty good. Not only that, but then you also have the boost relics. We see the return of the Book of the Dead. So for anybody, we know we had that hiccup that took place, right? Devs, I'm going to give them some kudos, man. They came around and they totally fixed that Hell event, creating that tiered reward system. But anyone that had maybe kind of bulk purchase some of these Book of the Dead relics, they're at least still good for this Underworld event. Not only that, but if you also earned a bunch of these during the last Theaters of War or Theaters of the Dead, then you've got a pretty good start. I know I came in, I think, close to around 10 or maybe even 12 event relics from the Theaters of the Dead. For the amount of gems that I spent, came up pretty good. When looking at that, just also be mindful, we've got the Temple Takeover for any Fire Titans, being Hades is going to do some fire damage there. That you can get 4-star Titan drops will be Halzir, Ilzar, or Flamehide. That's who you're going to walk away from with this this Temple Takeover. So if you're in the need for some Fire Titans, I guess you can go there if you want to. Now, the other new news about this is Hades will be completing what, let's say, will be our first Greek collection. I'm hoping it's not the last, just like the Norse gods. I hope that there actually is around two, because Hell was not included in the first Norse god Pantheon collection. But if you get this, you will have an opportunity to earn Pandora's Box, which gives damage, health, and armor to both Titan and troops. So all new relic also being introduced to the game following Underworld. With Underworld event, we also had a few other things in the game in case you happen to see them pop on your screen. In the US here, I had the spooky offer show up, which was a Calvarex. One thing I will point out that they've changed is this is a pre-leveled Calvarex. So he's coming in at level 10 versus a level 1. You have also got a Book of the Dead, a Blood Vial, and 100 Portal Stones, all for about $100, again, US currency. So if you've got an offer like that, I mean, and you're looking to get Calvarex, that is about the cost of an event anyways. We also see the 71,000 gem deal come back around. This is a 24-hour special basically for the game. 25% off. Normally $133 US, now for only $100. So I know these are pretty good. This is not limited to only one. So if you're able to get your hands on this, or maybe even a couple of them, I know there's a few people like to buy these in bulk just because it is probably one of the better gem deals that's out there. Not going to say maybe best, but definitely one of the better. With that, let's go ahead and actually take a look at this event now. We've got, again, roughly 4.5 days for this. You're looking at a number of different rewards, some of these that both relate to Hades. We've got a mixture of fire and earth. So as usual, I'm going to go ahead and do your rundown. What's your value? And what are you walking away for maybe just a couple of 1,000 grind versus the benefits of going all the way to the end. So let's go ahead and get into this tier breakdown. So looking at the tiers this event, we have 6 separate tiers. A couple of things I'm just going to shout out really early on here is just the value. All in all, total, you've got a 33,246 gem cost. All right, it's a 24,000 soul. You've got 1,847 raids to do if you're getting the 1.3 boost, which I think enough people went for Calvarex that I can go ahead and factor that in. That's going to cost you 5,541 portal stones. And of course, 6 gems apiece. That's your 33,000 and change gems. The overall value I placed on this event is 93,250. So let me go ahead and break that down. Your first couple of tiers here, you've got a few shattered tokens, and you've got the 150 portal stones that come up. There's a bonus token there, which of course is basically a free daily pull. All before the 2K soul mark. You've got 3 tokens, the 150 portal stones. You've got 350 gems that all come up before 2K. So this is an event that I think is definitely worth going to 2K. In total, as we look at, again, here's that 2,000 soul mark. Once you cross over that, you start stacking up your divine gems. We have a total of 1,000 divine gems available in this 24,000 soul mark. So even this is a slightly higher soul count event, there's also slightly more available. 1,000 divine gems. When we look at the tokens, the shattered tokens in total available throughout this, we actually have 5 tokens throughout here. Okay, we could see another one coming up here at 4,000, and there is another that comes available at 9,000 as well. So when looking at tokens, this has actually been one of the highest counts we've seen in quite a while. Portal stones don't go any higher than 150. We do also have 1 additional epic token. When we look at the relics, we've got 2 2-stars, 4 3-stars, and 6 4-stars. Now, keep in mind that a 4-star guaranteed is typically around 6,000 gems to get. And you've got a mixture of some pretty good 3-stars along with brand new 3-stars like the Spartan's Cape. When looking at the Titans that are available in here, you can see Sardu listed here at 5,500, but we did also have Duret before him. We have one 2-star Titan, level 15, two 3-star Titans, Duret and Sardu, both at level 15 as well. So again, those are kind of like a epic token pull right there. And then we have two 4-stars. You've got the brand new reforged Astaroth and of course Hades himself. Here again, you can see the epic token comes in at 8,000, the Shattered token, all right, at 9,000. We do have the Orb of Wealth making a return at the 10,000 soul mark. So again, that's a pretty good 4-star to have in there, plus all of the other new ones. Not only that, but you will also see coming soon, we have the return of Doomfire available here. So when you're talking about getting some pretty nice relics to go along with Grenadiers, plus the all new ones, the Omega Grenadier relics that go along with Hades, it's a pretty nice event in my opinion. With Astaroth being the fact that he's actually a Ragnar Titan, he does earth damage. We do see those mixtures of earth relics in here, like the Earth Rune at 13,000 souls. Now, for me personally, there's a number of relics in here that I don't have. I am definitely going all in here, and this includes the Earth Rune, the Doomfire, plus all of the new ones. The Orb of Wealth is another one that I did not get. So throw in the different cloaks and drapes and chariots. I'm all in on this event, hands down. I'm going to be going all the way to 24,000 souls. And if you are trying to set up your Grenadier game, I really have a feeling this is a pretty good event to go ahead and get started, especially if you're going for Hades. I think it's worth going the extra stretch to 24,000. Hades comes in at 16,000 souls. The extra relics that go along specifically kind of with him and his Omega Grenadiers, I think are helpful. I'm not going to say it's an absolute need, because if you have Grenadier relics, they can boost the Omega troops, but having these specific Grenadier ones for the Omega summon troops, I think is a pretty nice touch. With that, if you go all the way to 24,000 souls, at 22,000 and 24,000 soul marks, you have another 650 gems available, 250 and then 400. Again, this is one of the highest amounts we've seen for Divine Gems in the individual milestone brackets. I honestly think for quite a while, if not ever. So 1,000 Divine Gems in total. So looking at those milestones, that's where I get my kind of total. Adding up the value of everything, of what it would cost you to get from an altar or a temple pool, something like that, you're looking at 90,900 gem cost. Throw in the 2,350 divine gems that standard gems available. That brings you to a total of 93,250. The gems are a little bit lower on this end, but we do have higher divine gems, so it's a little bit of a trade-off there. Again, to get all of this, it's going to cost you 33,246 gems. Beyond that, if you're in an alliance that places pretty well, you've got Hades that is cleaning up the entire top 50. As you've seen, again, the top ranks are getting your pre-leveled as usual. You drop down to 11 through 50, you're just getting a level 1. We've got an epic token returning here for top 51 through 100. And then then just standard gem pulls after that. 4,000 gems, continuing on to the 3,000 gems, 2,000s, and then you get your handful of hundreds as well. Currently, this one took a shot a little early. We're sitting Sanctuary Omega is sitting right at that 4,000 gems, which I think is kind of, we got a lot of people that'll kind of go through finishing. I don't know if we'll have a shot at top 50, but either the epic token or the 4,000 gems, I think it's kind of a trade-off either way. The epic token sometimes isn't always epic. The 4,000 gems, at least are 4,000 gems. So we'll kind of see how Sanctuary lands in this one here. We're in a pretty good league for some ping-pong lands, getting a really nice setup as we go through it. But again, overall, I'm actually going to say this Hades event, when it comes down to the milestones, kind of falls into one of my top favorites, just because there's a number of relics that I don't have that I want, and that usually isn't the case. Normally, the relics are something I kind of already have, which kind of deters me away from it. But not only that, but with Hades being an all-new Greek god, I'm all in on this god game. I think the summoning is pretty cool. I'm just still on the fence of how exactly will I use these Omega Grenadiers. Am I going to drop them on other troops to keep them tied up, or will they be worth it to actually deploy out early and let their range kind of reach those enemies in advance, and still use them as basically a disposable troop. So that's the part where only gameplay will tell, and I haven't had a chance to play Hades at all on a test account, so I'll be grinding him out right along with you all. So stay tuned for some live streams throughout this Underworld event. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when I go live and when other videos drop. But thanks for tuning in on this one, guys. Also, big shout out to the intro video here, Bad Wolves with their cover of Zombie. Big nod, of course, to the Cranberries for everything that happened earlier this year. But thanks for tuning in. I'm GamingJAEGER, and I'm signing out.